Okay, and I think we have this video, so let's watch it. Then we want to talk about it. If I can share it. Okay. I think you can see. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
How to never run out of things to say in conversation. So let's see.
Yeah.
We've all been there before. You're in conversation, things are humming along nicely, and then out of nowhere, the awkward silence rears its head. At that moment, your mind goes completely blank, you don't know what to say, and you can sense the other person's eyes wandering as they look for someone else to talk to. That scenario sucks, so here are 5 tips to make sure that you never run out of things to say in conversation again. First, when you find yourself in that situation where your mind has gone blank, play reminds me of. That just means that you look to the environment around you and say, you know, that reminds me of, and then fill in the blank. It's great for opening new conversational threads, and it can also work as a follow-up when someone finishes telling a story, which is how many groups of friends interact all the time. That's because people are drawn to others who they feel are similar to themselves, and related stories can build that bridge. Just be sure not to repeatedly make your story superior to theirs, or else it can feel like one-upping. Second, when you ask questions, keep them open-ended as often as possible. So rather than saying, oh, you're from Toronto, do you like it there? You might say, how do you like Toronto? I'm curious to hear more about it. The former question invites a one-word response and then awkward silence. The latter gets the other person talking about the things that they like, which is going to open up more conversational threads. Also, just remember the rule that every 3-year-old knows about conversation, which is that simply asking why is a great way to get people to open up more. So when someone mentions that they're a consultant, for instance, you might ask, why did you decide to get into consulting? To be clear, unlike 3-year-olds, you don't have to say the word why over and over and over, but drilling down into their motivations will often get you a deeper connection in conversation. Third, for the worst case scenario, when conversation just flat out stalls, use revival questions. These are non sequiturs that bring conversation back from the dead. Here's 3 of my favorites. If you're in a new group and conversation dies after initial pleasantries, a great revival question is, how do you guys all know one another? There's almost always some kind of story that conversation can build from. If you're only speaking to one person, you can say instead, so what's your story? The great thing about this question is that it is so open-ended that the other person will probably guide you towards the topics that they want to talk about, usually responding with something like, you mean, what do I do for work, or what do I like to do for fun? Their tone of voice and enthusiasm will usually tell you the best angle of conversation to continue with. Lastly, for people you already know well, ask them about their exciting plans for the future. This one is nice because it is endlessly renewable, which makes it great for connecting with people in the office or wherever you work. Fourth on the list is to make a complimentary cold read. So if someone is particularly smiley, you might say, you look like the type who would be great with kids. Or if they're super strong, you might say, you look like you're pretty into fitness. If you get it right, they're probably going to open up and tell you more about it, but even if you're wrong, you can talk about what it is that gave you that impression in the first place. Either way, you've got new conversational material to work with. And the fifth and final tip is to flip the script so that you're not the one worried about running out of things to say. Instead, allow the other person to move the conversation forward by getting more comfortable with silence. Seriously, 3 seconds might feel like a long time, but if you can just take a deep breath while maintaining easy eye contact, more often than not, the other person will make a comment or ask you a question. Or if you really want to encourage them to continue, repeat back the last few words that they said. This mirroring invites them to elaborate and can often get people to open up in very powerful ways. So there you have it, 5 quick and easy tactics that you can use today to make sure that you never run out of things to say in conversation. If you like these tips and want more advanced tips, you might want to check out an online course that I created called Charisma University.
Well, okay. So, some important tips to be sure that you never run out of things to say in conversation. So let's talk about them. Let me share the board. Okay. Just one moment. Okay. And okay, now you can see the bird. Well, so tell me, the first one, remind me of. So what do you think about this? The first step, remind me of. So let me write it here. So the first one, Remind me of. Okay, so what do you think about it?
Yeah, when we are staying at the environment or um, uh, when we listen to some music or something like that, is sometimes remind me of
Of
something
course.
happened in past. Yeah,
Of course.
so we talk about that. Yeah,
Of course, actually, that reminds me of that, actually it's you pay attention to what someone says to connect with the story of your own by saying, ah, that reminds me of. That is really good. Actually,
yeah,
this helps to build new conversational thread. So like, okay, so let's keep going. It's a really good way to keep the conversation going. And I think this way people feel natural and friendly. So, wow, that reminds me of the same story that you have, and that's really good. The second one, uh, asking open-ended questions. So, open-ended questions. So, what do you think about this?
yeah. We can keep the conversation going by asking uh, um, by the question how, what, where, when, or something like that.
Def-
Anything.
yeah.
So we can keep the conversation is more exciting.
Definitely. So, as you said, not just yes, no question often lead to dead ends. Just
Yeah,
yes, no.
that's
So it's
right.
like, yeah, of course,
Yeah,
dead end. So it's better open to ask open-ended questions because they lead to longer and more meaningful answers. So we have longer
yeah,
answers and more, but yes, no, just it like leads to just, I don't know, a short conversation. Just we say that dead ends. So yes,
yeah,
the third one, why? Ask why to dig deeper. So what do you think? So ask why to dig deeper. How about this one?
yeah. Um, yeah. I look at the video. I can see that we can do at the child do that. They ask why all the time. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
of
that's a good
course.
way to yeah to ask other person, so we can make the conversation more to get more information.
Yeah, of course, you're right. So as you said, like a curious child, as you just
Yeah,
mentioned. Yeah,
curious
of course.
child.
So why? Why actually reveals my interest and my choices. So why? Like I don't know about when I want to explore. So explores motivation. So for example, why did you do that? Why did you? I want more. So that is,
Yeah,
but it's important how to ask it. So you know that when we say why, just gently asking is important. So how to say, okay? So it's like why? So just like because of this reason, like a curious child. Yes.
yeah,
And actually, why reveals more about someone's interest and choices. And of course, it can make the conversation richer. Like, but that actually there's a point here. So repeating too much is not good. So it's just a why. It makes people just worried. Like, okay, why are you asking me about every reason behind it? Okay, I don't want to answer this maybe. So it's better just, we should use why wisely. That is really important, not just repeating and repeating. So this is another one. And so another one, do you remember number four?
yeah. Number four is revival question.
Very good. When the conversation dies. So
Yeah,
yes, when the conversation dies. So what do you think about this?
yeah, yeah. We can make Yeah, can build connection and um, change the atmosphere to talk.
Yeah. Actually, what is the reason of just for asking this question? I want to bring energy back. So to bring energy back, okay, to the conversation. I'm typing
Yeah,
what you can see. To bring the energy back to the conversation. So, and it happens. So sometimes we feel like that, okay, this conversation is going to die. So there is nothing to say. Now we want to start again. So, for example, I don't know. So we can talk about, okay, one person. We are talking to a group of people. Then, okay, I start talking to you. Okay, what's your story? So with you. So you start talking. Or for example, okay, guys, how do you guys all know each other? So this is something that makes you just talk and speak more. So I think it's a really good way to refresh and restart the conversation. Just, unexpected questions. Like, okay, so
yeah.
let's something just to bring energy back to the conversation. And the last one,
That is any exciting plans we can ask our partner.
yeah, cold read. You heard cold read,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. Make
make
a complimentary, yeah, cold
complimentary
read,
cold
of course.
bread.
Yeah, of course. So maybe we can make a guess about just, someone based on their, I don't know, appearance. Like, I don't know. So you would be great kid, you would be smart. So why not? So it's good way actually making some compliments. So I think it's really good way. So especially make people, it opens a new topic. So, and it's really good way to keep conversation going, like motivation. So it's really good. And something else, but I'm not sure. Do you remember maybe the last one? So,
Flip the script.
flipped script, of course. What do you think about this?
Mm, yeah,
What would you
that's
say?
a good way to make conversation, and we can know each other deeply. Yeah,
Yeah. Let me talk about this one actually. Uh, Sometimes maybe we fear awkward pauses, like, okay, it's okay, this is just silence.
yeah.
So let silence do the work. So why not? Okay. Pauses.
Yeah. I
Yeah, of
remember we
course.
can.
So
Yeah, we can get more minutes, and we can
yeah, of
do after that.
course.
Yeah,
Get
after that.
comfortable with silence. So no problem. It's okay, just silence. So no problem.
Yeah,
So maybe we need it. So why not? Actually, a few, it can be just a few seconds.
yeah,
Actually, it makes other person just pick up the conversation. So why not? And of
yeah,
course, sometimes you can also repeat, I don't know, their last few words. That is really good. They say something, then you repeat. Why? Because you want to encourage them, or actually to continue or to elaborate. So
yeah,
that's really good way. So why not? Because some people actually they fear silence
yeah,
pauses. Wow, it's just they're afraid of being silent. No, it's okay. If it's not too long, so why not? It's really good. So you let people talk. Yes.
yeah,
Well, okay, so we talked about this actually. That was good. So you could catch the main
yeah.
points. And now let's talk about uh, making good first impression. How to make a good first impression? This is the first time when meeting someone for the first time. Do you have any tips, something that you can talk about?
Yeah. If I have first met to somebody that I never met them. So I will short information about them, and then yeah, yeah uh, uh, find out what they like or what they are doing, or how old are they, and yeah, and many information about them. So I will make the conversation more smoothly. Yeah, I think so.
This is the first time that you meet someone. Okay, well, when you meet someone for the first time, yes, it can be you try to. So, of course, this is the first time, so you need. But you say that I find out what they like or what they're doing. Or maybe how old are they? So let's talk about your answer. Of course, answer was good, a good idea. Just let's try. Okay, you should say, I try to find out what they like or what they're into.
Yeah,
What they're into. If I were you, I would use this.
what
What
they're
they
into.
like, of course, what they're into or what they like doing. Just how old are they? You know, they are. That is really important. So this is not a question, how old they are. And you try to get to know them a bit. Try to get to know them a bit.
Yeah,
So just,
a bit.
getting some
Yeah, that's
information,
it.
yeah, asking some question, okay. And then the conversation goes smoothly, especially if it's actually your first meeting. So this way is better, okay. And I want to give you slang that we use, slang that we normally use for conversation. Of course, you can say conversation. If you don't want to say, okay, you can use the word combo that is conversation. They're the same, but this is slang. We use it. For
Yeah,
example, you want to say, you said that the conversation goes more smoothly, the convo goes more smoothly. So this is slang that if you heard it, this is conversation. So you
yeah,
can use it. Yeah, of course. For example, oh, we had a great convo over coffee. So we had coffee
yeah,
and a great conversation. So you can use this. This one is good. Okay, and actually, this way, your conversation flows better. This is really natural and good way to say it goes smoothly, flows better. So this way, you can correct your answer. Okay, now let's get started with, okay, the first one, open-ended. We just talked about this phrase. So, and we said that is a good tip actually. And open-ended, as you can see, is an adjective. Yeah. If I want to give you a good synonym, I would say flexible, unlimited, Just asking open-ended questions is really a good way to encourage discussion. So we can ask it, yeah. But some
yeah,
people just, ask closed-ended like yes, no. It's not a good one. Okay. Well, so we talked about this word and this one, small talk. First, let's see. Actually, it's like a noun phrase, as you can see here. It's good. A polite, casual conversation about just unimportant topic or general topic. So, for example, normally we use in social situations. So we normally use, if I want to give you a good one, the synonym, I say chit chat. Yeah, chit chat is a good
yeah,
synonym for it. This light conversation, and
yeah,
I'm not really into conversation that is nothing but a small talk. Just talking and like casual talk, like, and you can use the verb make for it. Make small talk. So
yeah,
you can use it, of course. I don't know. For example, we made some small talk. Just small talk is uh uncountable. So you can't make it plural. Just we made some small talk while waiting for the meeting to start. Just some chit chat, what you normally do. Okay, so
Yeah.
what do you think? Are you the one for just small talk or no? You feel like to know?
Yeah. Because I love some small talk. Like um how's the weather or and today is a good day or something like that.
Yeah, of course. Though, like you can ask some general question. So that is actually the way to start. To start your conversation. Okay, how's the weather? Today is
Oh,
just, uh, yeah, of course. So you can say, yeah, I might ask something simple. You want to say, I might ask him something simple like, how's the weather? Or, yeah, is today a good day for you? Is today a
yeah,
good day? Yeah, just to
yeah.
start the
It's
conversation.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is today a good day for you? Just to start the conversation. So, and
yeah,
then, of course, why not? Yeah. And breaking the ice, especially so when it comes to like the first time or the first meeting or first people to start a conversation. So we need to break the ice. This is really common idiom. We normally use it. And when you say something to start a conversation, and because actually, in order to reduce tension that happens normally, especially the first time, so to start, to ease the tension.
yeah.
So, but how do you do that? Okay, so tell me if you wanna just suppose, just imagine that you were, if you were, I don't know, the leader, the first maybe speaker in a conversation, and if you wanted to break the ice, what would you say? What would you do?
Uh, I will say that. Excuse me, can I ask you some question? Excuse me, can I talk with you or something like that?
Yeah. That's good. So, no, if you were a teacher, you would need more phrases. Yeah. Actually, so first let me correct your answer, then I will say that why no. Excuse me, can I ask some questions? So I would say, first of all, I'd say, okay, excuse me, can I ask a question? Or can I talk to for a second? So can I, but it's not good way. Can I
Yeah,
talk to you
yeah,
for,
I see.
yeah, of course. It's just, it's not maybe for a minute, for a second, so it's okay. But uh I don't know if I wanted to ask, can I talk to you? I would say, do you have a minute? So it's friendly, casual. So why can I ask you? It's not actually. So just
Yeah, it's
yeah,
more
yeah. Do you have a minute?
complicated. Yeah,
But the point is here when we say breaking the ice, actually
yeah,
it's like a warm up.
yeah,
For example. We are in the class now. This is the first session of our class. So, of course, so I don't say, I don't ask you if you have a minute. I need to do something so you feel more comfortable with me, so you can easily talk. Okay, let me
yeah,
tell you a story. Okay, maybe making a compliment like, yeah, you have a beautiful smile. So it's good.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
giving some good phrases, okay? So it's like, can I ask you something? A question, no. If you want to ask someone, you don't say, can I ask you a question? Say, can I ask you something? If you want to ask something. Can I ask you something? A question, no. This is better. Yeah,
yeah.
it's more, yeah. And of course, just
So I'm eager to know how. What do you say?
yeah, of course, of course. So what if I were you? If I
Yeah, if
would
I would,
break the
if you
ice?
were
Oh,
me, yeah,
of course. If I wanted to
okay,
break the ice, what I normally do. So the first time, okay, you need to start with smile. That is really important. Your face, actually, facial impression is
but
really important. So
yeah,
first we
yeah,
have facial impression. Having smile,
yeah,
you have this. That is really
yeah,
important. So the first step is okay. So you have it. So facial impression. Then you don't ask questions. Why? Because, I'm just already feeling nervous here. I can't talk. This is the first time. Maybe I'm nervous, so I can't answer your question. Maybe it
Yeah.
makes me more uncomfortable. So what I say, oh, it's so hot today. Or wow, such a nice day today. Actually, I really like sunny day. So it makes me, how about you? Then I say, how about you? So you say, I like sunny day like this. And then I try to tell you a story. Yeah, actually, yesterday I went especially something that is related to you. What is that? For example, you live in another country, Vietnam, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I want to talk about, this is just example, okay? I want to talk about the day that is sunny and hot. Okay, so what can I find about you? I would say, like, actually, I know that it's so hot during summer in your country, isn't it? And you say, yes, it is. And I saw a photo of some people wearing mask and, covering the whole body and street. What is it? Could you please tell me about that photo? You start talking. This is breaking the ice.
That's right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Breaking the ice. This is, of course,
Yeah.
different
Yeah. It's much
topics.
better.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So then you have to actually, I make you talk because you have information. And that is really, really, really important. Ask something that people have information about.
Yeah.
For example, if I ask you about, I don't know, policies in the US, you're like, what
Yeah.
are you talking
No.
about? What is this? Something about you, your culture, what I know, and and then you can talk
Yeah.
about. And that is really important. Don't ask really complex questions, especially when it comes to talking to a native, not native speakers, I mean, foreigner, yeah? Like, for example, I'm talking about language here. It makes people stressed. Yeah, if
Yeah.
I ask you some complex question, it makes you stressed. Well, it's just we're running out of time. Let's log out and back in, then we keep
Yeah.
going.
Okay.
Okay? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go. Just let me stop sharing, I think, and log out. Okay.